that way. But there's also, I put on my metrics glasses, all my analytics glasses for all those nerds out there.
But Thomas Bryant jockstrap, get him out of here!
How does that not indicate to you, like, hey, sometimes, like, these prospects are awesome?
Donald, get back! They snatched that chain, boy. Get back! What y'all gonna do about it? Popeye snatched that chain. Get back! We want that snack wrap. They got 3 flavors. Y'all got 1. Get back!
Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network, presented by FanDuel. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, and Rob Watson. It is Thursday, December 4th, 2025, 10:20 a.m. Good morning, gentlemen. How are we on this fine Thursday?
We got the show out, dude, against all odds.
We did. We've had some little technical, if that's what you want to call it, errors.
Technical and like physical, I feel like.
Physical.
How are they going to find us?
Well,
How are they going to find us?
How are they going to find us? But no, you're right. But that's the thing, though. Like, you talk about Dabo Sweeney, bring your own guts. The fellas showed up, found a way. We're going to have a show. We got a lot to talk about. What more can you ask for?
What else could we talk about before this first subject?
Yeah,
like,
we can't lead with that.
How long
we gotta
can
do
we
stuff.
kick the can
you know,
down the
I
road?
had a question.
Can we kick it down the road longer than the Browns had?
And I forget what it was.
I think that's impossible.
I had like not an epiphany, but when I was in Florida, I had something. I was like, I can't wait to ask you guys when I get back on the show, and now I can't remember it.
Dude, that's the worst.
Oh no, it wasn't even Florida. It was a couple days ago. It was yesterday, I think.
Oh, okay.
I meant to bring it up. Spotify Wrapped. Are we Spotify
Yeah.
or Apple Music here? I'm Spotify.
Spotify.
Apple Music.
I had friends growing up, so I have Spotify.
Okay, Rob. So this doesn't apply. Did they do Apple Wrapped?
Yeah, they do Apple.
Okay, so you are included.
Mid
then.
as fuck, though.
What was
They
that? If you feel inclined to share, you don't have to. What was everybody's vibe?
I hate Spotify Wrapped. Could I go ahead and say that? It's
a hot
always
take.
wrong. It's always wrong. There's no way that my top 5 songs, my top 5 artists, all of this, there's no way that's what it is. And then they completely underguess like how many minutes you've listened to them. Like it said that I was only listening to Spotify for like 4 or 5 days. I'm like, no shot. I hate Spotify.
I'm calling a timeout on this. I don't know if you share an account or if
What do
there's
you
like maybe
mean
there's a
it's-
possible one
I've
or two.
never heard this complaint before.
I have never. Yeah, I think
No,
Spotify
mine's
is
wrong.
known for their accuracy.
Mine's always been wrong.
So yeah, I feel like you're almost like a Notre Dame fan here in a way where you're like fuck the head to head. Like
pull
I
mine
want
up.
like we're gonna do our own hypotheticals here. What would your hypothetical top 5 artists have been?
I don't even know, but it's not whatever it's been.
Okay,
out.
fair enough.
It's not whatever it's
I
been. And it's
thought-
not a shared account, so it's so confused. Like
It's just
pulls-
why I think they're getting too deep into it now, though. I think that's
No,
my
it's
issue.
not good.
Like I got like the day I listen to music the most, like that kind of like it's crazy. Like, the
They-
day I played repeats the most,
They
it's
give
wild.
them top songs, top albums, top artists. They get it month by month. They have a bunch
Something
of stuff.
new this year. I don't remember this if it was in years past. Was your average listening age?
Yeah,
Oh, that was new. Where what was your guys listening age?
Mine was-
34.
I was
They
31.
don't do that on Apple.
I was 21.
Cam's was 26. Cam got hers
Sounds
right
like you
on.
got-
Yeah, I
grow
was a little
up,
bit
buddy.
too. I was
I was younger.
31.
Top artists.
Drake.
I had Big X this year.
Drake, Gunna, and Baby
Big
Tron.
X was my 4th top artist.
He was my number 1.
My number 1 was also Drake, which I agree with, but the rest of the list is where I did not agree. Like Mac Miller wasn't even in my top 5. I'm like, that's fundamentally just complete.
See,
That's physically impossible.
I'm very different from you guys. My top 2 were country artists because I listen to country music. Were Morgan and Luke. Luke Combs, for those that don't know. Obviously, you know Morgan Wallen. And then I had Big X. He was my 4th, Jack.
Yeah, no, he came in. I think he propelled himself into the top 5 too. I don't think he was in the top 5 last year. He got 1 for me. I think Gunna came in at 2, and I don't really remember. I think Drake was definitely on there. Might have had a Justin
On
Bieber.
One Tonight
That was my number 1 song.
and Die Trying by Drake, and then the OT7 and Boss Man D-Lo collab. I forgot
Big
the
Zop.
name of the
I'll have
song.
to pull mine up, dude, because I
Those
get
are my
so
top
mad.
3
I just
songs.
Was that one song your number 1
I
song?
flip right
Huh?
through it.
Was it your number 1 song
No,
too?
it was number 3.
Oh.
Number 3.
So
well-
stupid.
Well, let's
Well,
talk about
yeah,
the
Not that anyone
pedophile.
cares about that,
the
but
inevitable.
Well, let's rip the Band-Aid
Sex
off.
pest, sex pest, sex pest.
Cleveland Browns
Yo.
on Wednesday
Yeah,
designated quarterback Deshaun Watson to return to practice from the physically unable to play list.
send that
This
to
is the
Sean
latest
Crawford.
step in his return to the field after his season-ending Achilles injury he suffered against the Bengals here in Cleveland.
What's up with this
21-day
guy,
practice window is open for Deshaun Watson. He'll be participating in practice limited. He'll conduct individual drills. Stefanski says the next step for one Deshaun Watson would include scout team quarterback reps. Can we put him on the D-line scout team like the Panthers did with Baker Mayfield? Browns
Can
will
we
have
just
to
put him on the
activate-
moon?
He was playing safety, I think, for Houston. Back
Browns
in
will
the day.
have to activate Deshaun to the 53-man active roster either at the conclusion of the practice window or he will be sidelined for the remainder of the season if they do not elect to do so.
This takes us up to Christmas Eve. And what a Christmas gift it would be for me to come down Christmas morning and to have that Adam Schefter post that says they're just keeping his ass on the physically unable to perform list. Because what are we going to learn here? What is the point of all of this? Yesterday, just that news coming down, like I had no other reaction to it other than it was yet another embarrassing day for an embarrassing franchise. Like, haven't we been through enough? Haven't we sat through enough pain and suffering this entire year watching yet another 3-win debacle because of the mess that the Deshaun Watson trade created? We're coming off the heels of a 3-win season last year. Haven't we suffered long enough? And I know there are people out there and there's an argument to be made about, well, maybe you put him on the field for a couple of meaningless games and you see, no, nobody's trading for that guy. Nobody's going to willingly take on $80 million of dead cap next year to take on that guy. When you've got players like Mac Jones that you could trade a 3rd, 4th round pick and get actual production out of, he's had a never before had shoulder surgery, and he wasn't good after that. He wasn't good before that. Then he ruptured Achilles not just once, but twice. This is so embarrassing that we are forced to even continue to talk about this. And for the people that want to see him be like the Reclamation Project next season, you absolutely can't do that. You need to move on from this entire thing. The only way through it is past it. And for the people that want to go back to Deshaun, like, why? What do you gain out of this?
I will say this: that video Mary Kay posted, seeing him next to Gabriel and Zappy, he had the most aura in that video. He looked the most quarterbacky out of the quarterbacks in that video.
Yeah, I mean, he did. That is like saying he looked more of a 5th grader than all the other 2nd graders.
His on-field drip is tough, man. I mean,
yeah, but like even if you look at
something about
there's literally one video on the internet of him throwing post his surgery. He throws it, boom, right away, and he just grabs his shoulder. In the video, it's on the internet. Like the guy is clearly not ready to play football. It's a massive distraction to the organization. You're coming off an embarrassing loss at home where half the fans were wearing red and gold and not even wearing your colors. You're fumbling punts. You're giving up 60-yard punt. Like everything is just so bad. This is the last thing you needed to add on at this point in time.
With fire right now.
He's
got deep ties to the Watson organization. He needs to start watching what he says, bro.
I look at the remaining schedule. Deshaun Watson did somehow get on the field for the Cleveland Browns.
The payroll must be over, by the way, because I haven't seen anybody say anything nice about it. Like anybody of note.
Well, it's because everyone had to go in on like the QB tracker.
So the cash dried up?
Cash dried up, and then the organization came in and we said we got to like muddy the waters this year. So everyone's got to choose a camp of 4 QBs, and then we got to do all this. Like they were basically paid to cash distraction and confusion this year, though. So that's what it was.
If Deshaun Watson did somehow find his way onto the field for the Cleveland Browns, you'd imagine it would be Week 18, that game against Cincinnati.
Is that at home?
Because the reason is because that's on the road,
yeah.
right? Is because the two games before that, the earliest he could come back would be home against Buffalo, home against Pittsburgh. The Boo Birds will be out.
You can't
Nobody
do
wants that. You can't put him out there in front of the home fans. Here in Cleveland, if he was to play, I suppose it'd be in Cincinnati. But again, he's not part of your future. There's quite literally no point in playing him. And if you're Deshaun Watson, let me ask you guys this: if you're Deshaun Watson, do you even want to go out there and play for the Cleveland Browns? Because one, you go out there behind a bad offensive line. You talk about the receivers all the time. You're going to put out bad tape more likely than not.
Yeah, I think he's such an idiot, and he's so full of himself that he probably thinks he can overcome.
I think the best route is if you're Deshaun Watson to continue to just post your homemade recovering progress videos and hope that somebody this offseason. Once he's officially that post-June 1, whatever it is, some team will take a risk on him, even though it makes completely no sense to do so. Go to the XFL?
Think about this, dude.
Like, in all seriousness?
I mean, they're not, at that point, you're just going to retire with all the money. You're not going to go play in the XFL.
Think about this, Ryan. Like, to your point that he literally can't play at home because of what that scene would be with the fans. Like, everybody knows that. If you did this Family Feud style and you went out and hit the streets of Cleveland and asked 100 people if you would play Deshaun Watson, it would be 90% of people would say no. And that fan reaction, if they were to introduce him or whenever he were to run on the field in Cleveland, in his home stadium, he would be greeted with an echo of boos. Yet still, Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Barry are acting as if this could be some solution to something. Like, yet still, they ignore what all of us say, what all of us think, what everybody feels about this character, and they want to stand 10 toes down on this mistake that they made to chase Baker Mayfield out of town for this guy that nobody could stand and nobody could stomach. And the only way that we ever would have been able to stand or stomach would be if he actually played good football, and he wasn't even capable of that. Like, that's the guy that they're entertaining seriously putting back on the football field. I can't comprehend a world where anybody should be advocating for either Barry or Stefanski to return to Cleveland next year. I'm just done with it. I'm done with it completely. I said at the time that I'd call for both of them to be fired if he were to be activated, and I'm doing it. They should both be gone for even entertaining this. Well, and I get they've got to appease the NFLPA or whatever. They should let this 21-day window run till Christmas Eve. That's seriously 21 days from yesterday will bring us to Christmas Eve, and then just rule them out. There's 2 games left. Rule them out the last 2 games.
I mean, that's probably what they're. That's
if
like
he
the
went
99.9%
crazy,
chance what they're doing, though, right?
I hope.
What if
I
he went
hope.
for like 800, like 6 touchdowns, 1 pick in 2 games? Then what? What if he just went crazy?
That's another reason
What
that
if
you
you
can't
look
throw
like
him out
4?
there.
Yeah, don't.
That's another
yeah,
reason you can't throw him out there, because let's say he fucks around and goes out and plays a bad Bengals defense, and
It
this isn't
goes
gonna happen. I don't even want to entertain this
crazy.
because
It
it's not
goes
gonna happen. He's not
crazy.
capable of it.
He
Throwing
bombs the
300
Isaiah
yards.
Bond?
Then you're gonna have the discussion.
Will Fuller Jr.?
Is this perfect timing? No pun intended. Like, Deshaun Watson actually looks good now.
The
He just needed a
reclamation
full
project.
rehab. No, that's just not gonna happen. So, I guess we got to talk about. Well, we do have remaining games for our Cleveland Browns. In fact, we still have 5 games to suffer through. So my question to you guys is: it's not Deshaun Watson. We know it's not going to be. Should Shedeur Sanders start every single game the rest of the season?
There's almost no reason to not have. If he's healthy, there's almost no reason to not have him do it. I think he's shown you enough so far that he's an improvement on Dylan. Like, Dylan is. He is what he is. He's probably a QB 2.5 to 3 on a depth chart for the next 5 or 6 years, and hang out in meeting rooms, tell a couple good jokes, don't get any TikTok fights. Hopefully, like, Shedeur has a chance. He has a ceiling in this league. Like, maybe it's not super duper high, but it's the best you got by far, and it would be a total disservice. Like, if you want to talk about putting him in a bad position, I think the first time you could truly say, hey, they kind of screwed this guy over, would be if they took him off the field to get a look at Deshaun or something like that.
I'm with that. I would start Shedeur the last 5. I think we learn. I will say, like, I think the book on Shedeur Sanders will greatly be written if he struggles against Tennessee. Like, if he struggles against Tennessee and you've got 4 to go, then you're going to have the conversation of, do you put Deshaun back on the field? Do you go back to Dylan Gabriel, which I would do before I put Watson on the field? I'd go to Zappy before I put Watson on the field. Just to see, you know, like, just to try to get to the finish line on this season has been so painful. And I think, like, the thing that you could say about the Browns seasons in, like, the early 2010s and even, like, at least they were forgettable. Like, they were bad, but, like, at least you didn't have, like this right now is that we're living through is so painful. Like, just get me to what is the last game's January 4th. Get me to January 4th, please. I just need this to be done. This nightmare to be over.
Does that date have significance? Why do I feel like I've heard that before?
January 4th. You might be thinking of January 6th.
Oh, okay. It was close.
Yeah, that's
That's when they ran
the
what
hill.
it's gonna be if they put Deshaun Watson.
No, yeah, it's gonna look very similar. I'll wear the.
I thought he made a crazy
horn
jump
helmet
right there. I was like, oh my
No, they're
God.
gonna make like, dude. January 6th is gonna look like a Cub Scout outing at the stadium if they put Deshaun Watson back on the field. Like, it is seriously gonna be Bottlegate 2.0.
People might run on the field
to their own player. Like,
Yeah.
this is the play. Like, their own.
No, he won't say if they do try and do the whether it has to be like a meat locker or we don't want to get these 2 kids hurt, or if he just truly is the last guy standing with like how bad these last couple of weeks could go, and it would have to be that last game. Like, there's not a world where they could play him at home, right?
You got to rush Shedeur the last 5 games. It's 5 games. Play him the 5 games. He's probably not. There's no. I doubt we're gonna throw the ball enough ever for it to be the bad game where he throws like 4 picks and you're like, we gotta bench him. it's going to be fine the rest of the way. But like Nick said, we're going to find out a lot this week for sure.
Well, if Deshaun Watson does make a return to the field, you're certainly going to need a lot of garage beer to get through that one. Before I ask any more questions, I'm going to tell you about our friends at Garage Beer. Garage Beer comes in just 2 flavors, classic light lager as well as that classic lime. No frills, no bitterness, no IPAs. It's just beer the way you want beer to taste it. And that is beer-flavored beer. So scan that QR code now or go give their website a visit, drinkgaragebeer.com, to find local retailers who sell garage beer near you. Again, that is drinkgaragebeer.com. Well, we mentioned we still got 5 games left for our Cleveland Browns in this 2025 campaign. Where do we want to go from here, guys? What do we want these last 5 games to look like? We'll start here with Tennessee. The reason I ask that is because the season's lost, right? If you lose to Tennessee...
No, wait, are we eliminated yet from the playoffs?
Technically, mathematically, no.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's only one team that's mathematically already eliminated, and I believe that's the Tennessee Titans. Anyway, Tennessee Titans, they come into town on this Sunday, December 7th. If we lose, we do improve our draft stock.
By like a ton.
But what does it say about the state of our franchise? What does it say about how Shedeur Sanders looks, how Shedeur Sanders plays? Is this one of those games where you need to win because it's such a bad team, because losing to this would be such a blemish on your organization?
We've had
Or
No,
at
it's
the end
just,
of
it's
the
just
day-
like no, it's like a flow. It's like the easiest flow chart in the world. If
Right.
you lose to the worst team on the fucking planet at home on December 7th, then you do want a higher draft pick. You go take that quarterback, no questions asked. Like you clean house. I think it's easy as cake if you lose this weekend.
So the thing is, though, like if you lose this game, you still have 3 wins. That's the issue. So still in front of you could potentially be Tennessee, Vegas,
how
and
do
the
they do it?
Saints.
Isn't it like strength of record or some shit?
We're-
It's not like head to head.
Strength of schedule.
And
wins
division.
losses, a lot of stuff.
Whereas, like, the thing that you need to happen, like, for the people that want to, like, monitor the mock draft world, you need the Saints and the Raiders to win. More so than you need the Browns to lose. Because the Browns have yet to win a divisional game. So, the Browns are going to get propped up in all of these scenarios. You need the Raiders to catch a win, or you need the Saints to catch a win, because the Giants aren't drafting a quarterback, and neither is Tennessee.
I don't think you need to worry about the Saints that much anymore. Quiet as kept, Show's been playing like kind of good.
And they never draft quarterbacks in the first round.
He's been playing kind of good to end the year.
So you think they're going to roll with Shug?
Yeah, he's gonna.
They even drafted a first-round quarterback in 2.
Yeah.
Yes,
Arch.
I think he's gonna get the go next year because he's been looking all right. I've been seeing the propaganda going on him. I think Miles sets the sack record today though.
I do
today.
agree. I think he
This
gets
week.
4 sacks in one game, and it's just done.
Yeah.
And honestly, then he probably says he has like a pinky toe injury, and then they just
See you
shut him
next
down
year.
for
Yeah.
the year.
100%.
That's what I would do.
What helps you learn about you because McGuire hasn't gotten money yet. It's just right?
Yeah.
So like that, I mean, that could help you figure out if that guy's getting more
we
money.
can't afford to give both of them money.
Yeah.
No.
We can't
The
pay.
books
Oh,
made
yeah,
up
because
on
I
that.
Can't
forgot.
afford to pay 2 DNs. We still got to go pay linemen and receivers.
Only got to pay quarterback is the issue.
Shucks.
So if we put
Shucks.
on our
I think we shut out Tennessee.
if
I
we
feel
look
like
at our
this is
crystal
free.
ball, let's say Browns beat Tennessee, right?
Their kick returner
Is the
good, though.
narrative going to
which is crazy to say.
wait? What'd you say?
They got a really
They got a
good
good
kick and punt
returner.
returner.
Yeah.
So that's bad to say, but he
Shamari
might,
DK,
yeah, he
right?
might get off,
Yeah.
bro.
When we put on our future outlook glasses, does Shedeur versus Cam Ward mean anything in this game? Because if Shedeur goes ahead and beats Cam Ward, well, what are people going to say? It's going to be more of, well, at least in one camp, people will say, well, congratulations, you should have won. The Browns are a better team. Look at that defense. And if he loses, well, I mean, then all hell lets loose. But
And the
even
other
if they do, in the Shedeur camp is still going to say, well, look, he beat the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, and you know that would be your 4th win on the season. You immediately go from like top 5 draft pick lock to like you're hopefully in the top 10 of the NFL draft. Like the race to the bottom this year is crucial and it's critical. So like this game is going to mean a lot in terms of draft positioning. I do think like if Shedeur outplays Cam Ward though, there's a conversation to be had about like maybe do you continue to give him starts at least, and then you see what he could do over the last 4 where you play a lot better defenses, and Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati is on there. That's not a great defense, and Chicago certainly as well. So I definitely think like if he outplays Cam Ward, that's good. You continue to start him and you continue to see what he can do. But in large, I wonder what a win on Sunday would mean for like the outlook of the future of this thing. Because if you're there at like 10 or 11, you would wish the Fernando Mendoza stuff goodbye.
You wish the quarterback stuff good.
Yeah, you're not
well,
getting. If there's another quarterback, he'll go before then too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
More
you've got
or
the
Simpson
Jets
would go.
hanging out there as well.
Yeah.
3 wins.
Now imagine this: he beats the Titans, shootout with the Bills, and he somehow beats the Steelers. Then what? I feel like people are all in if he gets a win
Yeah, I
versus
mean, then you
Pittsburgh.
give him next year, and you do what we talked about, where then you're drafting a receiver, you're drafting an offensive tackle, and you're seeing what he can do.
It's still ahead. This is like his turning point game. As fair as I was thinking about this, as fair as or unfair as it is, that turning point game for Dylan for me was the Jets, even though it wasn't his fault necessarily that they lost with the back-to-back return and punt return. But like the plays where he was just spiking the ball early and throwing it over Corley's head, like that's where I think like people like really started to get and having enough. Then he gets hurt the next week. That game's coming up in the third start for sure. The third start for sure. Third start. It's a really bad team. He's got to go produce. You got to win. No matter what's going on outside, he's got to come through. He's got to play. And people are honestly going to be looking for him to be the reason why we win this game. So I just said I think Tennessee's going to get shut out. This can't be like a 9-0 win. It's got to be like a 24-3. Like we got to put some points on the board. Can't be like 2 defensive touchdowns. You got to get like 2 or 3 good scoring drives. Probably need to hit a deep shot. Prove to people you're back on the same page with Jerry Jeudy and all that stuff. We're looking for like a get right game for the Browns, which is crazy to say. But
So give me your guys like not necessarily like your betting odds on it, but if you had to put a 0 to 100 chance on Shedeur Sanders being the starter week 1 next year. So whether that's bridge or you take 2 first on whatever, you don't spend on the quarterback. Like, what do you think the chances are Shedeur's playing week 1 next year?
I would say 10%.
I was about to say the same thing.
there's so many
really?
possibilities. It's
10%.
just impossible.
10%. They're drafting a quarterback next year.
15% maybe.
I can't fathom that Shedeur Sanders. I really just don't see any scenario where Shedeur Sanders plays these last 5 games, even if he looks amazing, guys. Like,
Yeah.
to convince that front office to roll out Shedeur Sanders next year, they're going to get some bridge or some veteran in free agency. Like, they're going to take a quarterback in the draft.
Yeah.
And if you're asking Shedeur to then beat out, what are they going to do with Gabriel at that point? Then you're still have a 4 quarterback room. Are they going to cut Dylan Gabriel? Like, you're having a vet, a
Yes.
rookie.
People have said it.
You're having a vet, a rookie.
They both might get cut.
Look at this,
sadly.
yes. Next year's quarterback room, a vet, a rookie, and one of Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders.
I really think that like if you
It's
it all
gonna
depends
be
on the
two
coach
vets
and
and
the
a rookie.
GM. It does, but I can see a world where they both get cut. If you clean house and a new GM and a new head coach come in, they could look at the situation and be like, let's just nuke it.
That's the thing that I would say, because I'm just assuming so many people are going to get fired. And like Nick has said multiple times, everyone wants to get their guys. And if you got a top pick, like say we are in the top 10, the guy's going to be like, I'm getting my guy.
Because,
Or we're
dude,
trading
think
up
about
and
it.
getting my
Because
guy.
think about it. Like, even if you miss out on Mendoza and you get like a Ty Simpson, and that's probably going to be your guy, and say like you did it at 5, like the Raiders accidentally
Nah,
win
the
2
Mac
more
Jones,
games.
Bailey Zappi,
And-
Ty Simpson quarterback room.
Yup,
You guys know
that's
that.
exactly what it would be. Like a new GM would want, like your starting Ty Simpson is probably your day 1 starter next year, and then you've got a veteran backup quarterback that could be in the room that could help him along, or you start the veteran quarterback for 3 games or 4 games and then turn things over, a la what happened in New York with Jackson Dart this past season. Like
Russ to
that's just
Cleveland?
it just gives zero avenue for Shedeur or Gabriel to ever get back on a meaningful NFL field ever again. And maybe one of them would stick around and be on the roster, but I can't fathom where like a new head coach would want Shedeur Sanders as his 3rd string quarterback just because of all of the storylines that we've lived through all season long. Like it's a turning point game against Tennessee for Shedeur. And to me, it's got to be like you threw for 200 plus yards, 2 touchdowns, and you scored 20 points offensively without any help from the defense, without any help from the special teams. And they've been unable to do that all year against bad defenses. So like, I think Stefanski, despite what you and me are like imploring for them to do, put a little more on his plate. I don't think they do that because I don't think they have any trust in him. I think this is a dead offense, a dead organization. They'll run the ball. They'll hope to sack Cam Ward 10 times, and they'll try to win a 13-3 ball game.
Doesn't that make
'Cause
you
that's what
though?
they are.
But doesn't that make you then think they're not going to get fired if that's the strategy that they're actively employing?
I don't think
Wouldn't you put
I
out
don't think
everything
they
you
care,
possibly
bro.
could?
I don't think
to
they
save your job.
I don't think Kevin cares.
I think he's been getting paid real handsomely, and
Yep.
he's sick of it.
So then that's an issue.
And
Head
you're gonna get
coach
paid-
not wanting
which
to
is
be
why
here.
he's got to get fired.
And we don't know that. We don't know. We're just.
I
putting
will
words
say
in.
that I've had. You could look this up. I forget who reported it. There was an anonymous AFC coach last year that was currently employed that was interested in the Chicago Bears opening, I believe that was probably Kevin Stefanski.
Oh, well, they dodged a bullet.
An active head coach.
An active AFC head coach.
Ben Johnson, Kevin Stefanski.
That was anonymously interested
Hydrogen
in the
bomb
Chicago
coughing
Bears
baby.
opening. I, to this day, believe that anonymous coach was Stefanski. Dude,
But I want to go back to that real quick. You said coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb. Yes, right now that's how it looks, and I'm not saying that it's not going to look that way in the future. But like, we weren't saying that Kevin Stefanski's first year. We were giving him all the flowers. He brought us to the playoffs for the first time in our lifetime. Like, I'm not saying Ben Johnson is going to fizzle out like Kevin Stefanski, but it's just so. My point is, it's crazy how quickly things can change.
I glazed, but I wouldn't even think
I'm
of it
trying
as
to
quickly,
find
bro.
this.
Like, that was 5-6 years ago. We got to stop talking about that like that.
I
was
agree.
yesterday,
I
bro.
agree. I'm just saying.
Freshman in college when that happened. Last time I thought he was a great head coach, man. Like, it's been a minute. It's quite sad, really. It
is.
It truly is.
It
bro.
is. It's really sad because what's sad about it is I actually do understand why Haslam's reluctant to like make a change because he is the best you've had and your track record says you can't really pick him and now you lost Paul DePodesta who at least picked this guy. So I do see it from both ways. I just can't see how anybody could seriously look at this situation and have any other takeaway than it's all dead. Like they're all zombies. It's all fossilized. Like it's completely dead and there's no way to bring it back.
The run back next year, the big joke when they just don't draft a quarterback and they say,
I think it's possible.
we're going to
dude.
have the battle with Dylan and Shedeur again in camp.
No.
And they just run it back, bro.
I think we're just going to learn
can't say
so
that's
much.
impossible. You cannot say that's
Yeah,
impossible.
because they'll sell you out. Dylan threw 10 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Shedeur showed promise with his arm
Dylan
strength
threw
and his
10
accuracy.
touchdowns to 2 picks?
He's 7-2,
Well,
I think.
and
at
most
the
of,
moment.
most of the touchdowns came when he got in place of Flacco in garbage time. He threw like 3 of the 10.
I think
in
3
garbage time.
of the 7 came then.
Wow.
I was gonna say though, I think this is like in terms of going back to the quarterbacks, my head's still kind of stuck on the Ty Simpson gear we were talking about a moment ago and like where he could go is I think there's like not just this weekend, but the college football playoff is gonna be so huge for Browns fans. Like I think like in terms of taking away like my Notre Dame fandom or our Ohio State fandom, this is the most I'm ever gonna be invested in the college football playoffs just off of what we're gonna do at quarterback because like Mendoza, that could go away in a second. Like, once they face a good defense, you never know, but he's probably the top guy. Ty Simpson is falling down everyone's boards after he's had pretty, like, not atrocious 3 or 4 weeks, but, like, that team looked terrible against Auburn. Like, he couldn't move the football. I think Mateer threw 3 picks last weekend. It wasn't him.
Like shit against the FCS school.
Yeah, that they played a week ago. So, like, that's starting to fall. Dante Moore is coming back as, like, the riser name. Like, okay, they're going to get in. Like, I really think these 3 quarterbacks, like, I think it's almost impossible to grade who's going to be the 1-1 out of these 3 kids. And I honestly think there's a good chance there's 1 first-round quarterback next year. Because, like, I don't know if Dante Moore, they could give him a dick ton of money to go back to Oregon, and he might not be ready. And I don't know if Ty Simpson's that good yet. He's only started 10 games.
The worst scenario would be if all 3 didn't come out. I've been hearing the stuff about did the Oregon OC leave or is he planning to leave?
I think planning to.
Planning to leave.
Yeah, they're saying if he goes, Moore's probably going to declare because that's the whole reason he wants to go back. It's not really for the money.
He's done. He's going to Kentucky. He's going to coach the team through the playoff, but he's gone.
So I think Moore is going to declare.
Yeah.
Simpson's probably, well, hopefully for him.
He should sit, dude. I think
he's
to
declaring. Dude, like, Drew... Never mind.
Well, yeah, Carson Beck and Drew Aller and Cade Klubnik and all those guys still exist.
And
Diego Pavia might be in the mix.
Yeah, and Drew Aller cost himself money. Like I think a lot of these young quarterbacks.
Yeah,
will
that's
look
why
at
I don't
what
think
happened
Moore
with
should
Drew
go
Aller
back.
last year, and like
One injury,
he would have
bro.
been a late first-round pick. The Browns would have done it. The Browns would have done it.
That would have been the dumbest thing. That like I would be
would have been our
complaining
Jackson
so much.
Dart. Would he have been on Jackson Dart timing out here? Drew Aller?
Like as good as him.
He might still be the guy we picked this
He
year.
can't fucking beat Northwestern.
Somebody's gonna do it because when you guys have to think like when you're drafting quarterbacks,
Look at the Will Levis shit.
and I've lived through it so many
What was
times.
like
they're drafting based off of like the intangibles. They're not really basing it off of like resume. So Ty Simpson only playing 10 games, they don't really care about that because it's okay. He played 10 games and he at least showed that he's competent. What can he do in my system? What can he do in my setting? What can he do with my offensive
They are
line,
forever
with my
trying to
wide
make up for the
receivers?
fact that they didn't pick Josh Allen because he went to Wyoming, even though he like wanted to come here. So I think that's what they see in Drew Aller. It's just like the big kid, even though he went to a bigger school, but they don't want to fall off just because he's a little rough around the edges. They want to.
Well,
they think they
anybody
can
does that.
develop.
They can
Like,
get
that's
him on
the same-
Saturday
Never
if they
done,
want.
But
The same thing with the Giants when they took Jackson Dart. Like they didn't really care that he played in like a super quarterback friendly ecosystem at Ole Miss. It was just that
apparently we liked Jackson Dart like a lot.
apparently like he's just got that they felt like he fit their team and what they were looking to
where
build
do you
in the
think
NFL.
Gabriel would have gone if we didn't pick him in the 3rd round?
I think he
Fifth
probably
or
would have
sixth.
gone in the 5th.
Okay.
He probably would have gone in the 5th. I think that, and I think the report that's out there at least makes sense, and I believe that the anonymous source probably came from the Browns. It probably would have been the Dolphins because they drafted Quinn Ewers later, so I believe they were probably in on Dylan, and they probably would have done it in the 5th.
QB rule?
So what are we gonna do when come end of the season? Stefanski, Haslam's thinking about it. What's he gonna do? And Stefanski says, and this is all of the guys Stefanski still wants to be here. He says, "Listen, Jimmy, I have never had my pick at my quarterback.
Yes, he did.
Just listen. I didn't really want Baker Mayfield. You know that. I didn't really Dylan Gabriel, DTR. Listen, you know what? That was the expectation. These are late round picks.
Yeah.
Jimmy, James Haslam, I'm in love with Fernando Mendoza. You let me trade these two first. You get me a quarterback I finally want. 2020 wasn't a flash in the pan. We're going to go further than that with this kid. You got to trust me."
I mean, if he gives him the year, he's fired by week 6.
It would be like
We're
Hugh
0
Jackson.
6, and even if the kid looks good, we haven't won a game, and we got no other talent in the room, and then we're starting over. And then we're probably hiring a guy that's like, you know what?
Stefanski's at Penn State.
Yeah, he's
Because
like,
with the rookie-
Mendoza's not my guy, and then we got to pick a whole other dude
Because with the
next
rookie
year.
quarterback, it's not just it's not, you can't judge the results off 1 year, and it's like, well, then you're pushing that again to the next year to see the growth with Fernando Mendoza.
You got to get a new
But what if
coach.
he says it to Jimmy Haslam? Jimmy Haslam's like, well, you know what, Kev? Go get your guy. We're going to run this back.
He says that until we are 0-6,
Yeah.
0-8, and then everyone's like, fire this guy. He is
They're
one.
doing that now.
It's the
But
same
then he
thing
would
that
be
happened with the
5 in,
Giants.
Like 45 in the last like 60 games.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happened in New York
Like it
with the
happened to
Giants.
Hugh, we were looking good, and we had like a win or two. And yeah, the same thing happened to Dayball.
But here's and I know you
It's
don't wanna hear-
realistic. Like that.
Yeah.
That seriously is
and
an
you don't want to
outcome
hear
that
this,
can
Rob.
happen.
And I agree that talking about that 2020 season is just stupid. It was literally so long ago. But a couple things you got to remember. One, Jimmy's never had that. Like, that was the only replication of success you've had since
Yeah.
you became an owner.
Yeah.
Two, the Browns aren't just a normal franchise. Like, for a playoff berth, a divisional round clinch, look at the Ravens. Every time they're like, fire Harbaugh, they don't get to the Super Bowl. Look at the Steelers. For the Browns, that's like their Super Bowl going to the divisional round. To Jimmy, that's all he knows is success under Kevin Stefanski. I'm just saying, don't be shocked when he's still our coach next year.
What if the Buccaneers?
I'm
if
betting
we're,
it now he'll be gone
I
halfway
don't
through
think
the
he
year.
will be.
if we're throwing out outcomes, what if the Buccaneers don't win their division and Baker becomes available?
Could you imagine?
Does he have 1 year left on his contract?
Could you go outside?
I don't
the-
think Baker would ever come back.
Could you go
I
outside
actually
with the
could see him
sorry
totally
and the?
doing
and
that.
I
the
think
blue
I do think our money opens back up when we're done with Deshaun
I was
too,
gonna
which
say,
is
I
would
could
be
totally
the.
see Baker coming back. To
What
Cleveland.
if
see
Jimmy
that.
If
had
time
a
is
little,
truly a flat
had a little
circle,
Tennessee
I could
suit on,
definitely
tucked his
see
tail
that,
between
bro.
his legs?
I
Hey,
buy that
Baker,
more
come
than
on back
Kev
to
making
Cleveland,
it-
Baker.
I buy that more than Kev making it through the next season as the coach.
I think
Oh, what?
there's a better chance that
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield plays quarterback
Yeah.
for the Browns again than Deshaun Watson being the bridge next year.
That's probably fair.
that's
I think
also,
that's fair.
That's also very fair.
But to say Baker comes back is more likely than Kevin Stefanski coaching
in like
next
2
year.
years, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What if you just LeBron'd it?
Kevin is
Coming
cooked,
home.
bro.
He's gonna,
Letter.
he's gonna
Browns on SI.
Yeah, Browns. He's wearing like the suit, doing the LeBron pose.
He's gonna tell Haslam Fernando Mendoza is the quarterback that I need to run my system. He's tall, he's accurate, he can move the pocket a little bit. He's the one piece I need. I've never had my fair share of getting my quarterback.
And then he goes 0-8 because his pieces are still Jamari Thrash and Gage Larvidan that he's passing to. And the defense is still putting up great
Zach
performances, and we're still scoring 8 points because that's all Kevin can do now.
Or let's
And
say a
then he's
scenario.
fired.
Fine. Well, let's say a scenario where the Browns they lose. They have the second pick in the draft, right? They know they can get at least Dante Moore. Kevin says, "I'm in love with Dante Moore. I can still get a receiver back half of the first round."
It looks better. We still suck the next year, bro. Like I'm just because now you go in, you say that I need this guy, and we start 1-5 again. No one's hearing that.
I think it'd be really funny if we kept Jerry Jeudy. I'm sure you guys have seen all the beef of like Ryan Williams at Alabama. Like, he doesn't hate Ty Simpson, but Ty Simpson cannot get him the football, so they don't get along great, I would say. We draft him, comes here, Jeudy just running back the same shit on the sidelines with the iPad. Like, I think I could so see it happening again.
Oh, man. All right. Enough Browns talk. We're wrapping up here, so that means we got to talk a little bit about our Cavaliers. It's been a while, but they drop another one at home to the lowly Portland Trailblazers. They drop to 13-10. Rob, I'll start with you. What's going on, man? Is this something to worry about? Is this health related? What's going on with our Cleveland Cavaliers? Do they stink?
It's a lot of things, man. No, they don't stink, but I just don't think they're putting their best foot forward right now. To be fair, it's kind of hard to do that when you got your 2 point guards in and out of the lineup every night. But, I mean, Jalen Tyson said it himself the other day. Like, the team's just not playing with hunger and toughness. And that's hard to do and win in the regular season in the NBA if you're not going to be a team that gets that done consistently. And you're seeing it. You go and you play a young team like Portland, if they want it more than you on a random Wednesday night, and they came off a back-to-back, and they still just, they come out and they handle business. It's something I think they just gotta find that next gear, and they gotta kick into it soon. Because I'm all for being ready to go come later in the season, but when you're like middling at 20-20, like you're gonna be like battling to not be a playoff
you're
team.
A play-in team.
Yeah, because the end of the year.
So what's the
like,
trade for Giannis? Let's address the elephant in the room.
Oh well, I mean,
What?
The
Second apron, damn it!
you would have needed to match it perfectly. I remember someone asked that in the offseason. I feel like I was one of the only people that said I would do it in a heartbeat if it was like somehow possible to do like Giannis for Mobley straight up. I feel like I would have done it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I got pushback on that.
You
when I
did.
said
That was floated. You did.
You did.
I got
I never understood it.
I was like, I'll do that in a heartbeat, bro. But
It's like the box thing. Open the box. It could be anything. It could even be Giannis. Like,
yeah, it's literally like you're trading for the dude you hope turns into Giannis or Giannis, and it's people like, no, like he might be.
No, but he could be honest.
Yeah, I don't know, but the team they gotta kick it into overdrive. Merrill being out, I don't know. Did he play? I don't know if he played last night, but like that has
He did not.
That's ever since he's left the lineup, it's gotten a little spooky. Allen in and out with the finger, he's still out. They're resting him this week. Garland's back. He's trying to find his way a little bit, but I'm waiting for. There's gonna be a time very soon, or I'm hoping in the next like 2 months that they go on like a 9-10 game win streak. Like they're pushing. They're gonna find the switch. They're gonna flip it. And they're going to get in a groove. Garland's going to be in the lineup consistently. They're going to get it together. They're going to probably ride that 10-game gap, whatever they get above 500, all the way to about like the 3rd or 4th seed.
Is there a point guard out there that could help fix this?
No. I saw that, and I don't.
No.
What would Chris Paul do for this team?
I don't know. He's dope though. He needs a ring.
I can't comprehend why do the Cavs have the top odds to get him? They have so.
We got
many,
a couple point guards.
They have so many point guards.
Literally, if the only thing is Chris Paul somehow thinks this is the only place he could go, and it's the best place he could sign and win a ring, because I don't see where he gets minutes.
They're gonna get fucked over by the refs in the playoffs.
Unless we're trying to, but like, there's so many short guards, and Chris Paul hasn't been playing good. Unless they thought for some reason like a combo of Paul and Ball off the bench would just be like super good for some reason, but I just don't. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm good on Chris.
Would they
Paul.
play Lonzo? Would Lonzo have to play at shooting guard if that happened?
Yeah, like you can't.
It would mess it
up.
up.
You can't have 2 pass first guys.
And you're still trying to get Lonzo Ball acclimated. Like Kenny Atkinson, went on kind of a little bit of a monologue after the game last night, just kind of saying like, "Look, this guy hasn't even played 30 games with us. He's trying to identify his role. He's trying to figure this out." Like then you add Chris Paul into the mix.
There's no minutes for him on the court because you still got to have Proctor and Porter ready in case like say Lonzo gets the playoffs and he sprains his ankle. Now you got to have someone off the bench ready to go.
How are the odds like that much? Are we like a clear cut number one, or is there like teams right behind us?
There are teams right behind.
I thought he was gonna go.
So it's not like a minus 500 or anything like that.
I'm just thinking he goes somewhere and is just like on a good team, and he like is just a bench player, and he just continues his whatchamacallit, his retirement tour.
Dude, I would
maybe he goes back to like San Antonio.
If I was like a dead organization, if I was like the Wizards, I would bring in Chris Paul just to be a dictator. Just to whip my soft young team into shit. If I was the Pelicans, I would get Chris Paul in there and just let him.
I could believe the Pelicans.
Zion's ripped at the end of the year.
Just let him get a baseball
Zion's
bat
already
and
hurt
start
again.
going in the locker room.
He's
and
got
just,
like an abductor tear. I think he's out for like a little while.
Yeah, he's gonna be out for a minute.
Dude, he's always hurt.
If I was a bad team, I would do Chris Paul and just turn him loose.
It's over.
I want to see him in a Hornets jersey one more time.
So my question to you guys is then, when do you start to get worried?
I'm a little worried. I'm trying not to worry.
It's still a ways away.
The thing for me is I think my worry comes like these games count the same as the ones later in the season do. So like seeing the Cavs right now, like if the playoffs were to start today, and it's a good thing that they don't because you'd be the 7th seed. Like you're in the play-in right now. And I agree with Rob. Like there's going to be a time where all of this looks better. So I'm not all the way panicked. I would just hate for that switch to never get flipped and you kind of meddle around like the 5th or 6th seed.
No, that's possible.
You meddle around like the 5th or 6th seed. You never really click all the way this year because these guys like have been injury prone.
49 and like 37 or something or whatever.
That'd be bad. That'd be very bad.
Because I compared them to like how I used to think, we would see some slow starts with the last super competitive Cavs team. But we had LeBron James and we had Kyrie Irving. So like when LeBron decided the switch was going to flip, he could do that in a heartbeat. I don't know if these guys are capable of doing that. And I just don't like the overall just demeanor, the fact that like you got a second-year guy saying we're not playing hard enough and it's still like we're just going in and out doing the same thing. I don't know, because it's got to be a conscious thing. It's going to be a game by game thing. You could put that effort in and we could drop some tough games, but I don't know. I just don't love it. Like
I don't love that we're getting like eaten up on the glass. We're turning the ball over a lot. It feels like if the threes aren't going in, you've got no chance of winning a game. And I get that's the modern NBA. If you don't like it, the NBA probably is not a sport for you at the current stage that it is. But like the fact that they get beat on the glass with 2 7-footers, and again, one of them's not been healthy, it's just alarm. Like they've got bad habits.
Well, it's a long season for our Cleveland Cavaliers, so not panicking totally yet, but it's always betting season.
Talk
with
to
our
me
fans
in December.
at FanDuel. Nick, let's tell everybody about FanDuel.
Not December.
Unveil our
December.
FanDuel parlay of the day and get out of here.
Alrighty, guys, you know just how fast NFL game days move. One big play and everything changes. We've got a great Thursday night football game tonight, and that's why live betting on FanDuel is truly a game changer, because with FanDuel, you can bet in real time while the game unfolds. If the score just flipped, you could jump on a new spread or a live money line. If a wide receiver's heating up, bet that next touchdown score or total yards. Think the drive stalls in the red zone. Take a live field goal prop or fade the total. Live player props, team totals, drive results, updated spreads, next play markets. It's all right there on the FanDuel app. It's fast, it's fun, and with FanDuel, your live bets move just as quickly as the game does. So whether you're riding momentum, fading the hype, FanDuel is going to put you in the middle of every single moment. Visit FanDuel.com/bigplay to download the app and live bet the NFL all season long. Must be 21 plus, present in select states. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com.
All right, Jack, you know what to do. We do it every day. Let's go ahead and win our parlay.
Let's do our best. We're starting off with the guy who had a great week last week, and that is George Pickens. He's going to do it again today. We're taking him anytime touchdown also to get 70 yards. He's going to be rocking the shiesty up at Ford Field, and he is going to ball out. He always does. And hey,
Can he
let's
rock
go.
a shiesty in a dome?
Can you? I mean, he did last week, I think. I think they were playing in a dome again, right? Yeah, you can do it in a dome.
NFL young boy could rock a shiesty anywhere.
Wherever he wants.
He can do it wherever
and let's go, Bobby Moe. They're heading on the road to take on the Phoenix of Green Bay, but that is no issue for the fellas over on the island. They're going to get the money line done here. And then we're going with a little Saturday leg. We're going to Saturday leg. We're not doing today. We're not doing tomorrow. We're throwing this one back a little bit later in the week.
I was about to say, who put that in here?
I didn't realize this was
and it's Duke money line. Dude, Duke money line. Duke money line.
Against Izzo on the
We're an Izzo show. We've always been an Izzo show.
Yeah,
against Michigan State.
Hey, make this a 3-legger. Let's
Yeah,
revisit
3-legger.
Let's revisit this, bro.
Do I need to change mine?
Don't put
First
that
of
one
all,
in. 3-legger. We're an Izzo show.
I did think
I saw Duke. I thought they were going to be playing like Santa Clara or something. I didn't see it was Michigan State.
Well, I was going to put Michigan State money line in the parlay until I saw it was on Saturday, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that.
maybe. Okay, I'll pick a new leg. I'll save that one for maybe.
Hey, we're going to call it 3. No, we're not saving it. We're going to Sparty.
Ryan's got the Florida flu.
Tonight's is a 3-leg. Robert Morris picking 70 yards, picking touchdown.
Yes.
Forget that 4th leg you just saw.
Give me Jared Goff over rushing yards. All right. Hope everybody had a good time.
Sharp.
Appreciate everybody watching the show. Shout out Garage Beer, shout out FanDuel. We'll be back tomorrow, same people, same time. Until then, have
January,
a wonderful
February
rest of your
is
Thursday. We'll be back on a beautiful Friday. Until then, peace out, take it easy, and we'll see you later.
Saturday.